Å være på FuckUp night etter 5 FuckUp years. Vel, jeg skal faktisk snakke om det jeg liker best, nemlig meg selv. Should I talk in English or? Yes?
If that's okay, that's okay.
Okay. Somebody do the, or I do it, or?
I can do it for you.
No, hello. Okay. Short story about myself. I didn't know it's going to be in English, but you probably survive. I'm a poor fisherman's son from Roan, small place in Trøndelag, middle of Norway. Actually was the poorest community in Norway when I grew up. I founded some companies. I was early retired when I was 36, moved to Spain, and between that I have been developed quite many companies, actually 53 of them. One of them is Bank, that was sold 3 months ago, 1.8 billion NOK, where I was, yeah, you can applaud. Where I was the founder and owned 62% of the shares when I started the bank. But I didn't get so much of the money because I was not so successful in stock trading. I have today also few companies, probably 10, 11. One of them is the Ludo store. Ludo is a board game in Norway that actually have the same name on the board game in Norway and Denmark. In Sweden, the name of the board game is Fia med knuff. Swedes. But all over the world, in English, it's parchís, or in Spanish, parchise. Comprendo, amigo? ¿Escucha? So, bien. Habla español. And Ludo store, this internet shopping e-commerce I started 3 years ago, is now actually quite successful. Quite successful is earning money. Not so much, but some. Also, I need more applause since I yesterday opened the webshop Barfota. And my partner is actually here tonight, Pia. We had tremendous big success, so I could give everybody a beer. But I choose to drink them myself. So, another board game I started, well, not the board game, because that is like 2,000 years ago, in Persia. The board game's chess was invented by a farmer. He gave this game to the emperor, and the Royal Highness was that impressed that they said to the farmer that, well, you can make a wish, whatever you want, I fix it. The farmer said that, well, my family is poor, we need food. If you give me one korn på engelsk.
Grain.
Yeah. Piece of rice is okay. For the first route, and then 2 for the second, 4 for the third, 8, 16, 32, so on. And His Royal Highness said, well, no problem. It's 64 of those, we double all the way. Problem was, there have never been so much rice, and there will never be that much rice, because it's like internal number. So the farmer was quite smart. So was I. This company was actually, I started in 2002, where the monopoly of mobile was ended, and we was 19 small players competing against Telenor and Netcom. We had a big challenge because gross margin was very low. So how is it possible to make success? Well, what I did, I borrowed from a local bank in Bergen 4 million NOK. I was already like mortgaged my house, and but some stupid bank manager gave me 4 million more. And actually, I spent whole marketing budget on the Real Madrid now. On Brann, they are quite nearly as good as Real Madrid, comprendo? And what happened was that Brann actually became a cup winner and serial winner 2 years in a row. And actually chess became a quite big winner as well. We get 12% of the customers in Norway, less than 3 years. We had net profit, 156 million after 3 years. I had dinner 2 days ago with the new boss in chess, 2 days ago here in Oslo. Chess is sponsor of the X Games that is in city right now. Also sponsor of the E Games that was 2 days ago in TV Norge. And this year, he say, will not be that good. Net profit is 600 million. But, well, 10 years since I sold the company, I like it. Maybe one of the best things I've done so far, of course, is that chess became third best brand in Norway, only beaten by Toyota and Mercedes that year. It's one more Norwegian company that have achieved this as far as I know. It's actually Norwegian, the airline company. That is an applause for them too. I sold the company way far too cheap, received only 2.4 billion, and I retired. Yeah. I retired, I moved to Spain, and one research woman lived in Trøndelag. She researched on happiness. After I lose all this money, she did a research, how could this happen with Idar? And well, I was quite anxious to hear, well, what is the results? And she said, well, since myself, probably like most of your people here today, have been entrepreneur, have been risk taker, have been have a sort of desire to make something of myself and my ideas. After I sold my company, I had much money, but then I had no challenge. So what's happened? I lived in Marbella, had, well, most happiness that people can dream about in life. But what I didn't have anymore was I had no challenge. So because of that, I start with the stock trading. And in 2007, I trade 236 billion NOK. I think 2 billion more that year than Statoil. They was second. And well, it didn't went so well. and after 5 months, I actually lose 2.4 billion NOK in stock trading. That was in itself what I deserved. But I lose approximately 400 million NOK more than I had, so using I had a problem. And with 400 million NOK in minus, there is no way to take a normal job and well, lucky today interest is low, but at that time it was more than 5%. So I had to start a new company, and I did. When media discovered that all my money was away, well, before that I had quite much attention in media, but when they discovered the money was away, the attention was huge. I decided for myself to be quite honest about what have happened, and I also saw opportunity in, since everybody was this eager to know all detail about the money, I saw opportunity to then talk some about my new adventure, Ludo, one of them, and actually that became well, more and more important to me. Today I have, as I said, 10-11 companies. Maybe most prepares in short time is app called Status. Since I've been working with mobile for 27 years, I see an opportunity with this app to make a next big thing. The app is now available all over the world, but we have members in probably 60 countries, and we grow quite rapidly in India, Ukraine and Brazil. But we are also on the top list in Norway, more or less every day. I think that what happened to me was, well, then painful, but also it gave me a wake-up call to go back to what I really like, is building companies. And there is 2 choices every day in many things, most things. I could sit down and think about what I could do with all this money, or I could start, make new one. Of course, to make new one is most fun. And actually, when people ask about my goals, what I like to achieve, actually to be on the road is #1 goal for me today. And as I write here, to look positive in everything. Probably, if I can take advantage of all you positive people here today, both buying in Ludostore, download my app, buy me a free beer in the bar now. We are quite important and strong if we unite forces. That is one of the reasons I spend time in society like this. There is, for me, 3 things that are very important. When I wake up every day, there is a lot of things I have to do that is quite boring. I think for most of you the same. I have still not small kids. The smallest is 13, but I go up every day 6 o'clock and actually make breakfast for my kids. Sometimes the guy, my son that is 16, we drive to school and he do the driving. And well, there is a lot of things I do that isn't that challenging, but it's necessary to do them, and I think most people have the same. Then, most of the days, I do things that is possible. And what is possible today? Well, everything, correct. So, it's, for me, when I come to work, well, before I come to work, I'm eager. I don't sleep much every night, but I'm very eager to that everybody else wake up. I can start to hustle them and make them do things that I think is smart, and I hope they think too. So there is so many possible things to do, but my best advice to you guys, save 4 minutes every day in the rest of your life to do the impossible thing. Hallelujah. Thank you for listening.
I'm sure there's plenty of questions for Vollvik.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
What makes you more happy? Is that earning more money or making more business and people can earn money?
Well, in Norway we say Ole Brumm, ja takk begge deler. I'm very happy to earn money, of course. Many rich people, they like, well, it's not the money that is bullshit. Of course, the money is important, but when you have food, bills are paid, of course it's also important to create things. For me, to make people around me successful, make me successful. To see that people around me take responsibility, initiative, and actually for me to take the best out of people, that's happiness. Yeah. More? Yeah.
Are you up to 0 now?
Well, from minus approximately 360, I'm like only in minus 20. Woo! Yes? Hei, Tage.
What's up, dude?
Tage er en venn fra Oslo. En applaus for Tage også. Mer spørsmål? Ja.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned that honesty was your approach to dealing with the fuck-up. I was wondering if you maybe say more about the response to that, how people reacted to your honest approach about what happened.
Well, in the beginning, I felt it was stupid to be dishonest. because media, they twisted everything anyway. In long term, because now it's like 5 years since I lose all this money, I've never ever myself or my companies been bankrupt. Never. But I have world championship in being close. And well, today I feel good about myself that I actually, because in Norway, other way, in US, where entrepreneur is like heroes, you even more hero if you go bankrupt. It's not the same in Norway. Everybody knows that. If you go bankrupt, you are sort of marked. He is a failure. Well, I have not been there. I hope I never come there, but still, it was some painful being dishonest. From media, I never get paid for that. From people, I get well paid. I have like 171,000 close friends on Facebook. And there I get a lot of klapp på skuldra. That actually have been inspired me a lot, because I discovered that I was not the first failure in this country, but from media point of view, I was, maybe I've been the biggest. Okay. More? Yes?
I was trading at the stock market. At one time, you was actually earning some money from there. So what happened? You became too greedy, or?
Yeah, what happened? I was 1 year. Actually, I earned probably 1 billion. Quite successful. But as you said, or you asked, if I get too greedy, answer is yes. I thought from 1 billion to 2 billion, it goes too slow. So actually, I sort of became too greedy, and actually, the sorry thing is that I went broke 5 months before the finance crisis in 2007-8. So, well, because most people, like when I'm abroad, they ask, well, what happened to you, the finance crisis? No. Oh, but because it didn't. But I take too high risk, and actually, what I gamble on, I was quite close. I gambled that the market was going to crash. But I take too high risk, and it still continue. If I had the margin money to stay for 3 more months, I would really be financial minister in this country. No joke. Because like some of the companies, REC, I shorted REC when REC was 290 kroners. It went down to 5 or 4. So using, I would be quite successful if I had started this 3 months later. Because what happened, the finance crisis come, but then I was sort of wiped out before. Sorry to say. Yes?
How do you deal with stress?
What is stress? Hello, stress is something you make yourself. It's inside here. For me, no factor at all. I've never been stressed. Stress is bullshit. Stress is... Yeah. If you want to be stressed, it's a lot of things to be stressed about, but it doesn't help you. Well, not me. But of course we are different, so I have respect that people get stressed when they lose 160 million in one day.
You don't get stressed when
No.
you lose a lot of money?
No?
You just say that day after I will get more?
Well, I earn a lot. I lose even more. But I'm going to make much money, and well, there is. I was first sponsor in Norway to Ole Einar Bjørndalen. That is a mental genius, because what he learned very early that when he was in his first shooting and missed one, there was no way for him to think about that when he went skiing. Because he understood that if you are stressed or think about this one miss, he ski less and fast. And so what is important, if you do a failure, forget about it, move on. The mic is coming.
You say you're a bit of a risk taker. You used to take like high risks. Are you still like that, or have you learned from your mistakes and failures?
I never learn. But before this, I never take high risk with investor money. I don't do that today either. And I don't have so much money to risk myself yet, but it's coming. And I will always take risk myself, of course, but I will not take this stock trader risk. No, no, no. On that I have learned. But a risk is to go on the sidewalk or whatever. Everything is a risk. If you open your hands, well, something is possible to come into them. If you close them, there is no way. And I think I'm an open person. I like to do new things. I like to see positive and create values. So, of course, then I take risks. But there is several types of risk. One of them is a calculated risk. In stock trading, I sort of didn't know what I was doing. Creating companies, I've been doing 53 times. I have 1 failure, 52 success. It's good. Okay, then I wish all of you the best. Hope that you get good success in what you are doing. If not, come with me.